Now, apart from this kingdom system of classification, के भनेको छ living things were all the living things हैन were divided into 5 kingdoms. सबै त्यो kingdom मा include भएको छ. तर यो 5 kingdom system of classification ले चाहिँ कोलाई include गर्दैन, virus लाई include गर्दैन, viroids लाई include गर्दैन, अनि कोलाई include गर्दैन, lichens लाई include गर्दैन. So let us talk about this virus, viroids and lichens. These are not placed under any kingdom in 5 kingdom system of classification. So we'll study it separately. So virus. So virus are non-cellular organisms. Sorry, don't mind my... Okay, so these are non-cellular organisms having a crystalline structure outside the living. When they enter the living cell, they take over the machinery of a living cell to replicate themselves. यो भनेको के हो? So this virus चाहिँ हैन यिनीहरू जब they are active only when they enter a living cell. उनीहरू आफै एक्लै they are inactive or they are non-living, but as soon as they interact or come in interaction with the enter the living cell, they take over that cell. They take over the cell and they start dividing and re-dividing. अलग्गै यो virus के हो? Crystalline structure हुन्छ के यसको division पनि हुँदैन, replication पनि हुँदैन. So this is why this virus is very हुन्छ नि अब different as compared to the other things, which is it is neither living, it is neither dead. Now D.J. Ivanovsky recognized certain microbes as casual organisms of mosaic disease of tobacco. So this person, okay, certain certain unicellular organism ले चाहिँ के गर्दै रहेछ mosaic disease of tobacco produce गर्दै रहेछ. Tobacco मा चाहिँ एउटा disease चाहिँ कोले गर्दै रहेछ कुन चाहिँ एउटा organism ले चाहिँ disease produce गर्दैछ. यो चाहिँ कुन चाहिँ भनेर चाल पायो मान्छेले virus भन्ने. Okay, so in addition to proteins, virus can also contains genetic material that could be DNA or RNA. So along with proteins, virus have genetic materials that could be DNA or RNA. In general, virus that infects plants, they have single-stranded RNA, and virus that infects animals, they have double-stranded DNA. So virus को genetic material कति जनाको के रहेछ RNA, कति जनाको DNA. न plants लाई infect गर्ने virusहरुको चाहिँ genetic material कस्तो हुन्छ रे single stranded RNA, whereas animals लाई infect गर्नेको चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ रे double stranded DNA. Now some common disease caused by virus is cold, influenza, AIDS, smallpox, leaf rolling, curling, various diseases, plants in both plants as well as animals. Bacteria feeding viruses are known as what? Bacteriophages. Now यो भाइरसहरुले कोलाई पनि इन्फेक्ट गर्छ, ब्याक्टेरियालाई पनि इन्फेक्ट गर्छ. त्यस्तो खालको भाइरसलाई चाहिँ के भन्छ? Bacteriophages भन्छ. They are usually double stranded DNA viruses. Now the protein coat is called the capsid. It is made up of small subunit called capsomeres, which protects the nucleic acid. The capsomeres are arranged in helical or geometric form. So here I have given how this virus को कस्तो हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ this is a tobacco mosaic virus. अघि कुरा गर्दै थिए हैन, tobacco mosaic virus or TMV virus. यसले चाहिँ tobacco plant लाई चाहिँ के disease cause गर्छ? Tobacco mosaic virus, mosaic disease of the tobacco plant. यस्तो खालके tobacco plant लाई सबै मारिदिन्छ यो भाइरसले infect गरेर चाहिँ. So this is the genetic material of the virus, that is the RNA, single stranded RNA. यो चाहिँ के हो? Protein coat हैन. It is known as capsid पनि भन्छ. यो capsid चाहिँ it is made up of small units. यो चाहिँ यो सब capsid भयो. Small unit लाई चाहिँ के भन्छ? Capsomeres, which protects the nucleic acid. Now this is arranged in a geometric form. देखिए हैन. Now bacteriophage, अघि कुरा गर्दै थिए हैन bacteriophage को बारेमा. So these are what? These are simply known as phage. These are the viruses which infects the bacteria, right? And then के गर्छ भने चाहिँ त्यो bacteriophagesले चाहिँ bacteriaलाई infect गरेर आफ्नो genetic material चाहिँ त्यो bacteria भित्र हालेर चाहिँ replicate गर्नु थाल्छ. So this is a bacteriophage. Now let us look at the difference between virus and a cell, right? So virus को चाहिँ के हुँदो रहेछ? Structure. Cell को structure let us see first मा. सेल मेम्ब्रेन हुन्छ, साइटोप्लाज्म हुन्छ हैन, युक्यारियोटिक सेलमा जस्तै न्युक्लियस हुन्छ, अर्गेनल्स हुन्छ, वेयरएज भाइरसको खाली के हुन्छ डिएनए, आरएनए र क्याप्सिड अर द प्रोटिन कोट हुन्छ हैन बाहिरपट्टि। जेनेटिक मटेरियल के हुन्छ, जेनेटिक मटेरियल इदर डिएनए अर आरएनए, सेलहरुको के हो डिएनए। रिप्रोडक्सन ओन्ली विदिन द होस्ट सेल, अघि पनि भने भाइरस आफै बाहिर एक्लै छ भने रिप्रोड्युस गर्नु सक्दैन अनटिल एन्ड अनलेस यसले एउटा लिभिङ सेल भेटेको छ भने मात्रै त्यहाँ भित्र मात्रै रिप्रोड्युस गर्न सक्छ। वेयरएज सेल they can independently they can divide asexually or sexually. Growth and development हुँदैन, yes growth and development right in multicellular organisms को growth कस्तो हुन्छ, cell divide भएर increase भएर त growth हुन्छ। Energy, obtains energy, uses energy, no. Viruses response to our environment, no. Whereas cell को त does everything, changes over time, yes. Cell also changes over time. So viruses, these are such an fascinating organisms, right? Unicellular organisms which individually उनीहरु एक्लै बाहिर छ भने not the reproduction देखाउँछ, not the metabolism, not the breathing process, none of it के पनि देखाउँदैन। तर whenever a living cell सँग यो कन्ट्याक्टमा आयो भने चाहिँ यो भाइरस के हुन्छ, अचानक उनीहरुले इन्फेक्ट गरेर यहाँ लिभिङ सेलको भित्र रिप्रोडक्सन देखिको लिएर सबै गरेर चाहिँ इन्फेक्ट गर्छ त्यो सेललाई। सो are viruses living or dead? So this is the main question over here. Are viruses living or dead? Because they have so many characters of dead हैन, non-living को characters हरु छ, as well as they have some, as soon as it comes in contact with a living cell it becomes living. So they have many living features हरु पनि छ. So I think you think about yourself हुन्छ नि. So viruses are living or dead भनेर चाहिँ तिमीहरुले आफै मजाले सोच्नु है के हो यो भाइरस भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ. It is so deadly. अहिले नै चाल पाइरहेको छ हैन हामीले, because of this COVID virus which is going on right now. We have to अहिलेको सिचुएसन पेन्डेमिक पनि यसले नै यो भाइरसले नै क्रिएट गरिरहेको छ. So just think, what is viruses? Are they living or dead? Now let us move on to the next group, which is not included in the 5 kingdom system of classification. This is known as viroids. Virus was discovered by Theo Diener as new infectious agents smaller than viruses. They cause what kind of disease? Potato spindle tuber disease. So these were another infectious agent which is smaller, even smaller than the viruses. They have free RNA. Okay, so the genetic material is RNA and without any protein code. जस्तै मैले virus को के छ भनेको छ, virus को यहाँनिर देखाएको छ हैन, they have always a protein code or the capsid हैन, तर viroids मा चाहिँ protein code is absent. So this is the difference between viroids and viruses. Viroids is smaller than virus and they are without protein code, whereas viruses with protein codes and they have free RNA. Now another group which is not included in the 5 kingdom system of classification, that is lichens. What are lichens? These are the symbiotic association between algae and fungi. अब symbiotic association भनेको चाहिँ mutual association. That means यो दुईटाको mutual association, यो algae ले fungi लाई harm गर्दैन, fungi ले algae लाई harm गर्दैन. In fact, एका अर्कालाई यसले के गर्दछ, support गर्छ, कुनै न कुनै प्रकारले help गर्दछ. त्यस्तो खालके relationship between two organisms is known as symbiotic association. When both of the associated organisms, they are helpful to one another, it is known, this kind of association is known as symbiotic association. Okay, and the association between the algae and the fungi र algae को यो दुईटा combination or association लाई चाहिँ के भन्छ, lichens भन्छ. The algal part is known as the phycobiont, whereas the fungal part is known as the mycobiont. They are now lichens. They are very, very good pollution indicator as they do not grow in polluted areas. Polluted areas ma lichens पाउँदैन. That means एउटा area polluted छ भने lichens हुँदैन. So we'll know that त्यो area चाहिँ एकदमै polluted छ. Whereas lichens पाउने area मा चाहिँ we'll know that pollution is less. So lichen is an association with fungus and an algae. जस्तै के association भने मैले symbiotic association. That means अघि पनि भने हैन, त्यो दुईटा association यस्तो association हो जसमा दुईजना organism is benefiting one another. जस्तै fungus, they cannot make their own food. Whereas algae, they can make their own food because they consist of chlorophyll. राइट. सो के गर्छ भने यो एल्गे र फंगस चाहिँ एसोसिएट भइरहेको छ. यो एल्गेले चाहिँ फुड प्रड्युस गर्छ. यो फुड चाहिँ कसले पनि खान्छ? फंगस पार्ट, द्याट इज द माइक्रोबायोन्टले पनि खान्छ. नाउ दिस एल्गे, अब फंगसले इन रिटर्न एल्गेलाई चाहिँ के हेल्प गर्छ भन्दाखेरि फंगसले चाहिँ एल्गेलाई प्रोटेक्ट गर्छ. सो बोथ अफ देम दे आर बेनिफिटिङ वान अनदर, and that type of association is called the symbiotic association. And the symbiotic association between algae and fungus is known as lichens. So these are the three groups which was not included in the 5 kingdoms system of classification. And with this, we come to the end of the chapter biological classification.